Hello guys, give me a second. Hello everyone, Shawn from Property Empowered. Today we're going to share a very interesting quick topic, I would say. Okay, today we're going to share about this thing that give me a second. Hi Terence, thank you for supporting. Sorry, the live is actually pushed back for a while because of a last minute call. Okay, so today I'm going to share about these interesting questions that I was often asked by my clients. Okay, let's give another 1-2 minutes for the guests to come in. Okay, today the topic is very simple. Okay, I'm going to share about these questions. Okay, often a HDB owner will ask me, okay, Shawn, I have a fully paid HDB that I can collect rental, or I have been collecting rental for the past few years. And does it make sense for me to sell away my fully paid property, my fully paid HDB, and embark on a new residential property, be it a condo or apartment, that due to the mortgage, I might not have any rental. That means whatever rental you collected probably will have to go back into the installment, okay, paying up the installment. So, and not only that, I'm going to service another loan. You see, the thing is that with my fully paid HDB, I have no loan issue at all. You see, so this is a very interesting question, right? On the outlook of it, it seems that it makes sense, right? Why do I want to go and take another loan? Okay, I can collect rental. I'm a 包租公, 包租婆. I can collect rental for the longest time. Till the day I mati also can. Okay, because we know the HDB is all 99 years. And if you have you got a BTO previously and you stay there about 10 years to fully pay your property, right? You left around, still got about 80 over years, which is very sufficient kind of income, right? Yeah. So it does make sense, okay, that I fully pay my property and I don't take a loan anymore. Okay, but today I'm going to use another perspective to come in. Okay, which I call this series the number games. Because a lot of time when we make investment or make any property investment, be it property investment or equity investment, right, we tend to be a bit emotional. So in my early years of investing, I also made a mistake. Okay, like for example, I like this particular stock, knowing that they are not doing so well or their business model is outdated, but due to the affection for the business, or as well as the past good experience, that means probably I make some money from the stock previously. So we tend to be a bit stubborn, or what you call emotional, in our decision. So after so many trial and errors, I start to believe more. Okay, I start to implement more numbers in fact, for all of my investment decision. Numbers really make up the most part of my critical part of my decision making. Okay, so slowly, okay, guys, if you are here to find out more and you want me to share with you all the insights on this topic, please help me to key in 1. Okay, 1. Okay, thank you so much. Now we got about 15 people coming in. Okay, today is very good. Friday. I think I wanted to do this on a Wednesday, but apparently Wednesday I got something caught up, so I have to push back on the Friday. So it's like I have never done on a Friday night. So let's see how the response is today. Okay, I think we can. Okay, now I've got 20 already. Okay, so maybe I should start. We should not hold you back anymore. Okay, because it's Friday. Okay, before I really kick off the thing, I I do a disclaimer first. All the information is purely for educational purpose and should not be taken as financial advisors. Okay, Property Empowered and the guest speakers or today, I'm the one hosting, okay, are not liable for any individual losses and damages. Okay, so let's kickstart. Okay, today's topic will be fully paid HDB with rental income versus private condo with a new mortgages. We all of us don't like mortgage. To us, mortgage is a form of risk for most of us. Okay, so let's straight away, let me share a screen now. Okay, maybe I take away the ticker. Wait a second. The ticker is a bit ignoring. Okay, so okay, you can see me now. Okay, let me share the screen with you guys. Okay. Okay, today is our number game series. Okay, so the topic we have today is, should I keep the fully paid HDB to collect rental income versus reinvest? That means you sell away your HDB property, reinvest in a private residential condo with a new mortgage. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so let's do a quick comparison. Okay, a fully paid HDBs. Okay, fully paid HDB is always low capital outlay. That means it's still one of the most affordable residential that we can afford. So your initial capital that you put up is always the lowest, because no matter how typically a HDB costs lower than a private condo. Or second, no mortgage loan because it's fully paid, right? There's no stress on our side. See, no risk, no stress. This is what we like. Third, we can collect rental for longest time. Okay. Sorry. I think the CV came out. Okay. So the thing is, we can collect rental for the longest time. Okay. So because we know that Singapore property is all 99 years. For HDB, right, we can collect at least about, even you stay there for 10 years, you can still collect about 80 over years. These are the good pros. Okay. But what are the cons? Property depreciations. Okay. This is something that is really real. Okay. This one happened to all form of properties. Okay, most property after you hold about 20 years on odd, right, the property will start to drop because of the lease is getting shorter, especially for the 99. Even the freehold over time, it will get shorter and shorter also. Okay, because of that, then property price will drop. And not only that, HDB, there are a lot of restrictions. Okay, there are a lot of restrictions like cannot use full HDB, CPF usage, etc., etc. We don't go into in-depth of that thing today. Okay, cannot cash out profit. So this is what we mean, that if you bought maybe a BTO at 250,000, but now the property is worth about 400,000. Okay, there is profit to be taken, right? You can channel this money out to reinvest, or maybe your kids need to go for further studies. You can use this amount to actually help them out, or you want to use this as part of your retirement. Okay, or you want to set up a business, but you can't for HDB because your fund will be locked up. So that is what I mean, that cannot cash out profit. Maintenance issue. Okay, so we know that, yes, as much as we like to rent our property, right, for rental income, but over time there will be maintenance issue, like such as maybe the aircon was down beyond repair. All these minor stuff that you need to take care of lah. Okay, because as time longer as it goes, right, the building get jaded. There's a lot of issue coming up lah. So, and this one is, I think, is the most important. Limited portfolio choices. Okay, due to the restriction that we have in Singapore, right? If you own a HDB, you probably cannot do that. Most of us are not able to get a second one, especially if the first HDB is bought by husband and wife. Okay, so if you want to buy second property to do another investment, then you have to pay quite a big levy to pay lah. For as of now, the ABSD is up to 12%. It's 12%, sorry, unless you sell and reinvest again. Okay, so these are limited choice that you can have. Okay, and the last one, loss of profit due to accrued interest. This is what we meant by CPF accrued interest. Okay, I do a very quick one because this is another separate topic by itself. Okay, so for example, if you buy a HDB for 250,000, okay, you fully fund by CPF. Okay, and if the valuation of the property now is 400K, by right, if you sell now, what is your profit? Your profit will be net off, should be around 150K, right? 400 minus 250, you probably have 150K of profit in terms of cash. Okay, but the thing is that if you fully pay your HDB and you're going to hold it for 20 years, okay, your CPF usage is no longer 250 because there will be an interest charged into your property. So by the end of 20 years, and if you decide to sell, you might have to refund. You will have to refund way more than 250K that you use. You probably have to refund about 300K, 350K. Depends on how much you use and how long you have been using. So I have clients who bought a property for 150K. When we managed to help them to sell, it's around 350K. By right, in theory, you should have made 200 over K. But the thing is, because of the acute interest, they've been staying there for the longest time. So when they sell, they almost refunded everything back to CPF. Okay, so instead of making money, you turn up to be just break even. Okay, this is something a lot of people are not aware. I will create another topic on this. Okay, this is very important. We need to actually let the public know more on this issue. But today, just a glance through because we have a lot of things to cover. Okay, so next, versus new private condo. When I say new private condo means that it can be a resale or new launch, doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. Again, we do the pro and cons. The pro is we are able to cash out. Like what I mentioned, right? You bought 250, now you're able to sell at 400. You can take out a profit and use partial of it to buy the private condo. The rest can remain as a reserve fund, or you put it somewhere else to generate more profit and income for you. Okay, that one is a different thing. Second, I think this is a key point here. Leverage or mortgage. Okay, the thing is with new property or property that you are buying higher, that means you are not able to fully pay, right? You are taking on the leverage. That means you are using people's money. Okay, you bought property for let's say 1 million property in Singapore. Okay, but you don't really have to have 1 million to buy the property. You see, for as of now, you can just pay 25%, 1/4 of the price. The rest you can use mortgage services. Okay, so that is the good part about real estate. You see, the whole thing about real estate investment is all about leveraging. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking you to over leverage, but leverage in a good way. Leverage in a good environment like now, where the interest rate are at the all-time low. Okay, so this one I'll go through a bit on the later part. Okay, reset your accrued interest. Same thing, like what I have gone through earlier. Okay, you buy this property for 250,000. 20 years later, when you sell, almost all of your proceed, even though you sell at 400,000, maybe 360,000 will go to your CPF. So if you net off, you can only cash out about 40K. But if you're able, for this case, you reset, you got your fully paid HDB, you sold it away, and you got a net profit. That means you bought the property at 250, you sell at 400. So by right, after you add on a bit of the accrued interest, because you still use it over the years, so maybe you just return 300K to the CPF and you still have 100K cash on hand. Okay, so to me, in theory, you got the net profit of 100K. Okay, but if you drag longer, your profit will get lesser and lesser, and all went into your CPF. Yes, you can say it's your money, but to me, it's an opportunity loss, and also your cash proceed. You can't even take out a cash proceed as time goes. Okay, so this is a very important thing. I need to stress. Okay, the cons okay, there is a perceived higher risk. Okay, that we are taking a mortgage loan. Okay, we start to have a lot of thoughts coming already. If I take a loan, what if I cannot service? What if I lose my job? What if the interest rate go very high? Things like this. Okay, but this thing can all be overcome by having a good, solid plan. Okay, you see, the thing is, we must have a plan before we buy anything, buy any property investment. Okay, so the thing is that this perceived risk, higher risk, will be there if you don't have a concrete plan, well-thought plan to help you through in the whole process. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, no rental income. Okay, this is very true, especially you are buying. In fact, any private property that you don't fully paid, right? There is a high chance that you don't have a very good rental income, because a big part of your rental, right, collected from your tenant, right, will go into servicing of the property. Okay, so to some, this meant that there is no cash flow. The cash flow is very low compared to continue to hold your HDB property. Okay, because wherever you collect from a tenant is for you to keep. Okay, another point is it will take a very long time to fully service the loan. True enough, because most of us these days will take at least 20 to 30 years loan, okay, which is true, okay. But this part really depends on your strategy, because if you are trying to get a capital gain from your property, that means instead of just collecting rental, right, usually we won't hold for so long, and fully paid the property might not be our main concern. So you must really know what is your objective in getting a new residential property, okay, for investment, okay. So this thing can be overcome again by having a good plan, okay. This is what that is very important, okay. Yes, higher capital outlay. Yes, because of the higher quantum, because any private property these days is at least 800,000 and above, compared to a HDB that is 200 over thousand. Okay, definitely the capital outlay is bigger. Okay, so this is something that some don't like. Okay, but I will explain a bit more on this later part. Okay, so let's do a case study. Okay, let's do a very typical case study. Let's see what the numbers can tell us. Okay, like what I said, this series is what we call the number series. Okay, let's do an assumption. Okay, let's do an assumption that the property price will remain stable. Okay, we are not even looking at capital gain. That means the property is booming. Okay, property price went up by 9%, 10% per year. No, we're not looking at. We're just looking at a very stable market. Okay, with a 3% inflation. Okay, normal day. Okay, this year is a special year. To be frank, this year I will assume that I will not to predict. I'm quite sure that our inflation will be super low this year. Okay, but in general, an average out in Singapore, right, the inflation is around 3%. Okay, and I also take into consideration HDB rental yield. Okay, the HDB typical rental yield these days, although he have dropped quite a fair bit, I'm still taking about 6%, which is a very healthy one. I'm taking on the end of it. Okay, private is lower, definitely is lower. Private is about 2 to 3.5, no problem. But for this case, if you want to buy and to support yourself, we should need to get something that is of a higher rental yield. Okay, because we are comparing rental yield to rental yield. Okay, because the reason why you're holding a HDB is because of rental yield. So we can select some property that is of a higher rental yield. Okay, no loss of income. Okay, I'm presuming that for the next 10 years, the owner have a job. They have no urgency to sell. That means really no stress to sell because they have very stable income. Okay, these are purely for investment. Okay, and assume for a holding period of 10 years. Okay, to me, in Singapore property investment, or in fact any property you buy in Singapore, you need to actually hold more than 5 years. 5 to 10 years is a very good time. So I like to take a 10 years. Okay, for this case study, I take a 10 years so that you can see a difference, because property investment is really about time. You need to hedge against time. Okay, no longer we are looking at 2, 3 years, 4, 5 years you can sell. You might not be able to fulfill the maximum profit that you have. Okay, this is what I have. Okay, so let me do some calculations. A fully paid HDB, 400K. Okay, rental yield, I'm just like what I prefer, the assumption, right? So at 6%, 6% 1 year, rental you collected is of 24,000. Total rental collected for 10 years is around 240K. Okay, estimated property price in 10 years. Let's take in a 3% inflation. I'm not talking about the very bull market. I'm just talking about normal inflation. So 400,000 over 10 years based on the 3% inflation, you'll be 537,500. Okay, so total net asset in 10 years, I will take the total rental collected and the projected 10 years property price, okay, which is 240 plus 537. So total will be around net. You have 700,000, 777,500. This is based on a fully paid HDB collecting full rental. Okay, so let me go to the private one. Sorry. Okay, same thing. You sold away your existing HDB for 400,000. Okay, same thing. Remember just now the previous one, we the property valuation is 400,000. We assume we are able to cash out on the same price. Okay, and we bought something that's around 1.2 million. So the down payment, stamp duty plus legal fee, everything go in. We will use up about 335,600. This will be the down payment, the legal fee, as well as the stamp duty. We'll pay up all this. So what will we left? We only left with we will have a reserve fund. That means this sum of money we don't touch. There's about 65K. We keep it in our bank. Okay, we don't use it. This is our reserve fund. So based on 1.2 million, right, we take a 25%. So our mortgage is about 900,000. The current interest rate now is about 1.3 to 1.5. I take on the higher side 1.5. Tenor. Okay, we assume it's a 30 years tenor. That means you take 30 years to service up the thing. Monthly installment will be 3,100. Okay, the rental I based on 3.2%. Will be 3,200. That means that whatever you collected from your tenant is going to fully paid for your installment. You don't have cash flow. This is very important. Zero cash flow, zero rental income for the next 10 years. So after 10 years, we've been paying the mortgage for faithfully for the next 10 years. And the outstanding has already dropped. From 900,000, it dropped all the way to $643,700. Okay, so what is the estimated price in 10 years' time? Same thing, I based on the 3% inflation, 1.2 million, 3%. Over 10 years, estimated is 1.6 million. Okay, I'm doing apple to apple. The HDB also have a 3% inflation. The private also have. I'm taking the same number. Okay, total net asset value after 10 years will be the outstanding, the property price, projected property price minus the outstanding 600 over 1,000 plus the reserve fund. Remember, when we buy the property, we still have 64,000 reserve fund. We don't use. So total net, you will get a 1.033. Okay, this is purely on getting a property with a mortgage loan with zero cash flow. Okay, all your rental goes into the mortgage. Okay, so let's do a side-by-side comparison. Okay, in just 10 years' time, your net asset value based on the HDB fully paid, you'll be 777 versus a private that your net asset will be around 1.033. That is a difference of 33%. Okay, annualized difference is about 3.3%. Okay, it's a 33%. Okay, so you see a difference. By collecting rental doesn't really help you in a sense. Yes, it does grow because from 400,000 over 10 years, your property will be 700,000. But if you actually trade this off to get a bit of leverage to help you out, the only thing you sacrifice over here is cash flow. Okay, the thing that you really sacrifice here is a cash flow. You don't have a cash flow. That means you don't have rental income. Okay, so what if in 20 years' time? Let's see what the numbers tell us again. In 20 years' time, your net asset value, a fully paid HDB, which is worth 400,000 based on inflation and the interest collected, right? It will be probably worth, okay, together with the rental, the most part of them is rental. So it will be around 1.2 million. Okay, that is faithfully, you don't use the money where all the rental you collected, you just keep in the bank. Okay. So private, it can go up as high as 1.85. Okay, same thing. The next difference is 57%. Okay, same. I'm basing on the same market situations. So you see, in 10 years, there's a 33% difference. You could have made more by reinvesting your money. And in 20 years, if you reinvest your money from today, the day, and 20 years later, it could be around 57%. Why is it so? Why is it so? What is the key reason? Why is there so much different, 57% over 20 years time? Okay, what is the key reason? And this is the key, also the key reason why the rich get richer. Okay, so I will tell you the key reason why the rich get richer over time. Okay, it's all because of leverage. You see, it's a very important point. Look at the two comparison, right? The only difference that why your property is able to generate way more returns in terms of net asset value is because of leverage. Because you're trading a 400 instead of holding on a 400,000 property, right? At its net, that means all your money is fully invested in the property to get a 6% rental income. You use this part to leverage up to get a more higher quantum property. Okay, because you must understand rental yield, we always calculate based on percentage. Yes, the private property rental yield is lower, but the thing is that you don't fully pay your private ma. You also use, in fact, you are using less than 400,000. You're only using 330 over 1,000. You still have 60 over 1,000, remember, as your reserve fund. In fact, you're using less money to make more money. Okay, so this is leverage. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so you see, the rich people always use others people to make money, which is true, right? Okay, instead, even the rich people have fully 1.2 million to buy the property. They will not buy the property upfront with cash. You see, what they do, they will always borrow. Okay, they will always borrow. Even the biggest developer in Singapore, they also use leverage. Okay, so even they can easily afford not to. Okay? Even I have the money to fully pay, I will do that also. Okay, and leverage is always a risk management tool for them. Okay, why? For example, if you buy a property, if you have 1.2 million, okay, and you decide to look at a property that's 1.2 million. If you fully paid with it, the only risk that the only good thing out of it is you don't have to pay anybody's money. Okay, you don't use other people's money. Okay, you keep everything to yourself. But the thing is that what if the property didn't perform well? What if you urgently need some money for your family, for your kids' education, for your business setup, business venture? Then you don't have the money already because all your money is stuck in somewhere. Okay, it's all about making use of leveraging others. Okay, and leverage, we must leverage correctly in a sense. Okay, so this is very important. Leverage is a form of risk management. Okay, so the not so rich people don't spend money on others to make money, to make more money. So I forgot key in, to make more money. Okay, they rather choose not to spend on others. That means pay the bank interest so that the bank is able to facilitate us some loan in order for us to make more money. Okay, a lot of people have this thinking. Why should I let the bank make the money? You see, the problem is if you have enough cash, no problem. But what if you know that this instrument is going to help you in long times to come, but just because you lack of fund, you choose not to touch it? You see, that is a waste. That is really not being savvy, I would say. Okay, this is very important. Cash flow, not so rich people always think that cash flow is always the first priority. Okay, because a lot of us like comfort. Okay, we don't like to be in a stress mode. We don't like to be in an uncertain ground. So we always want cash flow. Okay, I think I have talked about this a lot of time. Okay, many of us are employees. We work for someone. We have a boss. We have a regular income. We have a very consistent cash flow from our salary, from our job. Okay, why do you want another form of cash flow? You already have cash flow. Why do you want that extra few hundred, 1,000 of cash flow? It doesn't make a difference to you. Okay, why don't go for something that is able to give you a bit more? That means, you see, if you already have cash flow, a little bit more of cash flow doesn't make you rich. You only make you it just make you a bit more secure, make you feel a bit more, you tend to spend more. You see, you make more doesn't mean that you save more. Usually you spend more. Okay, so it doesn't really help you, Cash flow is only for your comfort, own comfort. Okay, it will not make you rich, to be frank. Okay, and leverage to all the not so rich people, right? Leverage is always risky. To them, taking a loan is a risk. Okay, not able to pay the mortgage is a risk. Okay, what is something I sick, I cannot pay out the mortgage is another risk. You see, they have a lot of issues. Okay, but the thing is, the key part here is risk and risky is different. Okay, you buy any form of investment also got risk one. Okay, but are you able to manage it? If you are able to manage it, it's no longer risky. Okay, risk level can be minimized by having a very solid plan. Okay, remember just now when we bought the 1.2 million property, okay, we have used up 330 over K. We still have about 60 over K as reserve fund. This reserve fund is able to tie you during period when things are not going correctly. For example, you lose of job. Okay, the money mortgage there is about 3,001. You got 60 over K. So you can tie you around 20 months, for example. And it's quite difficult for you not to find a job for 20 months, to be frank. And even then, you don't find a job. You decide this is something not for you. You got 20 months to sell a property, which is more than sufficient. For private, it's usually 6 to 9 months. You are able to sell it off. Okay, you have a reserve fund that's able to help you tie on it. Is it? You get what I mean? So things like this, like having a reserve fund, how to stretch your tenure, how to cash out your profit, things like this. These are part of the strategy game that we have to be in place. Okay, the things that we have to be thought of. Okay, things that we have to think of the worst situation that we can in. Okay, so all these have to be in plan. So when these are in plan, no longer leverage is a risky thing already. Okay, we just need to manage it. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so this is very important. Got it? So I hope that you guys have a better idea. Okay, I'm saying. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. This one a bit goyo. So my Facebook page is facebook.com/property empowered. So you all can follow my page and like and comment. There's a QR code. I will put it later. Then you all can have a look. So I go again. Okay, this one very important. So you all can follow me because I'll be for the next few weeks I'll be coming up with a lot of series. Okay, number series. Okay, to break away all the myth, all the thoughts that a lot of the investor out there have. Okay, because sometimes if you just based on logic, you can't do a lot of things. Okay, the fear will be there. Okay, but if you put everything down in numbers and break down into details, you realize that it's so much easy to execute a plan. Okay, because the thing is that when we don't have clarity, we don't have a plan, right? We tend to be most defensive. Okay, we tend to stick to what we have. Okay, this is something that is very important because I have always stressed property compared to equity. Stocks, you call that stocks. Equity you can buy anytime. When you are 70 years old, you collect your CPF, you can buy anytime. But the thing is, for real estate, it only favors. That means the younger you are, the better for you to invest in property. And Singapore, till date, to me, is still the best place to invest. Okay, so I hope that you guys found that whatever I'm going through, just for the past 20 over minutes, beneficial for you guys. Okay, so now I'm talking about what I'm showing here is purely on numbers only. So I didn't take into consideration like because I have clients who tell me, this is my matrimonial home. We have great memories about the property. I love the location of my HDB, etc., etc., etc. These are emotional stuff. These are personal stuff. This doesn't come into the numbers of it. Okay, what I'm showing you today, just now, for the past 20 minutes, is purely on numbers only. I just do it in number games. At the end of the day, if you think that emotionally this is my home, I don't want to sell, this is something that I will keep for my next generation, fine. Okay, this is fine. Okay, and I have a lot of clients don't sell their property. Some of them sell their HDB is because of this, and the reason they always give me is because I collect rental. But I will prove to you, if you actually funnel your money out to get something that is of a not even fantastic rental, you just a decent rental, you can easily do a 50% more in 20 years time. Okay, and I have not taken into consideration that in 20 years time, HDB property, which is 10 years older than the private that you're going to buy, will be cheaper in the sense that it will depreciate. Okay, I'm not taking into very complex calculation. I'm just taking a very, very linear type. Okay, so I hope that you all find this useful. So if you guys have any comments that you all wish to know, or any topics that you guys would like to find out more, which you'd like me to actually work on, do a presentation on it, do a tutorial on it, do write in the comments. I'll try my best to actually input in my topic next round. Okay, so I think that's all I have for today. Today is a very short one. It's 30 minutes. I think it's just a nice timing lah. Okay, nice frame, because I realize that when I have a longer videos, right, it can be a bit too much for everyone to absorb. So I'm going to break all my videos into a mini series. That means about 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, so that it's a good bite size for everyone to absorb. Okay, so I think that's all for me today. I hope that everyone have a good weekends, and I see you all next week. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.